Chuck Todd, the political director of NBC this morning, came out and said that this was a planned Republican agenda. No, it wasn't. This was a Republican debate group that in unison erupted. We're going to release some numbers tomorrow morning that are going to show just how overwhelming the ad hominem attacks were, and it's going to startle you how outrageous it was. But this was a situation where, reporters can play the devil's advocate position and ask tough questions. And that's what we would expect. The problem is that when they interview the Democrats, it is one softball question after another. When they interview the Republicans, it's hardball, but it's way beyond hardball. These were ad hominem, insulting questions. And I won't, we don't have to repeat what Ted Cruz said, where he decimated John Harwood with his one line. But that's what they did. And it's about time that Republicans as one stood up. I would have loved it if they just all walked off the stage and just said, we're done with you. And I think the American people would have applauded.
Well, and last night was something I have not seen before. Normally, our candidates or candidates on the Republican side, they usually get baited into attacking each other. They take those questions, they embrace them, they go after each other. But something very curious took place last night wherein they seemingly banded together and presented a united front to the moderators. I would perhaps, Brent, feel more comfortable with them going on any network, MSNBC, CNN, CNBC again. If they continue to do that more often, it's what the Democrats did, and I think it threw the moderators for a loop.
Yeah, and completely contrary to what Chuck Todd suggested, this was spontaneous, and you saw it happen spontaneously on the stage. Whereas they just came together as if they were having the same cosmic vibes, and they just said as one, the hell with this, and they turned their guns on those poor moderators. You know what's interesting though is that the three guests that came on, Santinelli, Kramer, and I forget the third lady who came on. They were all spectacular. They were all good. All three of them asked perfectly respectful, good questions. Right. They should have been the ones on the stage, not these three dinglings.
Yeah, what is your thought process on that? Why did they choose those particular moderators? Because as you were saying, they have bigger names. I mean, you could even have had Chuck Todd sitting out there moderating, but instead they kept him back in the spin room.
Boy, that's a good question. And I'm not sure what the answer is. But here's the problem. Historically, after a debate like this, there is a lot of gnashing of teeth and beating of breasts and fulminations and outrage from the Republicans because of what was done to them last night. Except it's the Republicans who agree to this format. It's the Republicans who sign off on the moderators. They really can't complain after the fact. And there has to be a real question. This has gone on for 30 years. Right. There has to be a real question about what kind of vetting process is taking place by the party and by those people put in charge of this. John Harwood is an out-and-out left-wing political activist. Did you see what he tweeted this morning?
Yes.
As a response to all this? I now know what John Boehner and Paul Ryan are going through?
Yes.
I mean, this is something that a left-wing Democrat activist would tweet that. The other guy, Carl, what's his name, today was tweeting about the China forced abortion policy, yes. One-child forced abortion policy, quote unquote. It works! Exclamation point.
Wow. And these are the ones that they picked. I'm wondering though, and this is just a theory that I have. Seemingly, and I started thinking about this after these candidates kind of teamed up on stage. Do you think that it's possible that this is some sort of like Machiavellian plan from RNC leadership where let's have these guys present a united front, let's have them go into the lion's den and make a mockery of the media? And I thought about this after seeing them team up. And then this morning, I was reading headlines from Daily Kos. I mean, I had to wash my brain afterwards and think progress. They were even condemning CNBC's moderators, which I've never seen that before. Do you think that maybe, do you think that that's a possibility?
No, because we're talking about the stupid party. No, I wish they would, but no, they didn't. Now, however, having said that, first to your second point, yes, isn't it interesting? Salon has blasted CNBC. Carl Bernstein has condemned them. I mean, it really is interesting that even hard left-wingers saw the outrage that took place, and good for them for speaking out to it.